There's been a lot of talk about Portland's cleanliness or lack thereof lately. In this video, we're going to dig a little bit into it. We're going to see what Portland's been doing, what they plan to do, and see if those things have been having an impact. All that starts now. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel Living in Oregon. We're going to talk about Portland's trash problem. But before we do, there's been a couple things in the news recently that got me thinking about Portland's trash problem. Another West Coast city of San Francisco. They have a big conference coming up, the Asia Pacific Economic Conference. The leader of China is coming to San Francisco, and a lot of people are talking about this on the internet because San Francisco, and I haven't been there since 2020, not since the pandemic, but it was a great city when I'd been there in the past, but I've seen a lot of things online about San Francisco's cleanliness or lack thereof, San Francisco's problems with trash. What people have been talking about online recently is the major efforts that San Francisco has been making or has made to clean up the city in a very, very short period of time, all in the name of this conference.
While San Francisco is in the spotlight for the Asia Pacific Economic Conference, city leaders are making sure the city shines.
Tourism is our business here in San Francisco, and we need to focus on making sure that the tourist dollars still come back.
Caltrans repaving major roadways like the Harrison Street off-ramp from the I-80. BART doubling down by deep cleaning their stations overnight more often.
The city had gotten a little bit dingy over time.
Scrubbing and power washing is happening all over the city.
Yeah, the bottom of my shoes look clean.
It's noticeable how clear the streets look and how few homeless encampments there are on major thoroughfares. People say this should be how it's always done.
What about the people who are here year-round, and local, hardworking, working-class Bay Area folks?
And here's what California's Governor Gavin Newsom said on the matter.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true, because it's true.
So he goes on to say, it says right down there, the closed captions can see, but it's also true for many, many months. What he's going to go on to say is essentially they had been planning this for a while. It wasn't just a coincidence that they were cleaning for APEC. Now, let me show you some before and after photos, but that guy that made the comment about things always being this way, I've seen that probably the most. So it sort of begs the question, if the city can go from conditions that a lot of people find unacceptable to this sort of pristine, spotless type of city in a matter of days, seemingly overnight, then why do we do it for other people? Why do we do it for our guests, but we don't do it for our residents, the people who actually live here full time? I'm going to show you some before and after pictures so you can see some of the work that the city's done of San Francisco. Sort of reminds you of when you have a messy house and you have guests over. Here's the before and after. There's the before, there's the after. When you have guests over and you're scrambling to clean your house, or to clean your room, to clean whatever it is that whatever place that you might be hosting somebody, which to some degree that's understandable. But like that guy said, why would the city not do this for its own residents all the time? And maybe to some people, it just felt like the situation was out of the city's hands. Maybe the people didn't think that the city was capable of completely removing all the homeless people and removing all the trash. And it makes you wonder, where did all these homeless people go? Where have they been displaced to? Will they be back? And that other comment that that guy made about his shoes being clean, I do remember a couple of years ago, it's probably been maybe more than a couple years ago, but somebody created an app that tracked all the poop, all the feces, human feces, all around the city. I think presumably so they could report it, and so that the city could clean it up if they were going to, or at least if you have an event coming up like APEC. Now the city knows where to go clean up some of these messes. All right, so let me take you to that data. It's sort of sad and surprising both at the same time. So once you scroll in here, then you're going to start to get those precise pinpoint locations. So again, these are all places where people have reported poop in San Francisco. Presumably, these things have been cleaned up according to all of the recent reports, again, all in the name of Apex. So why do I mention San Francisco? Well, this reminds me of something that we had happen in Portland here just a couple of years ago. I'll show you a couple articles on the topic. Portland Classic moves LPGA tourney cites homelessness concerns. That's from coin6.com, local news station. Golf Week also reported on this. Homeless encampment drives Cambia Portland Classic to new venue for safety reasons. Sports Illustrated reported on this. LPGA's Cambia Portland Classic changing venue due to safety concerns. And then another local magazine, Willamette Week. Women's professional golf tournament cites concerns about homeless camp near Country Club as it moves out of Portland. Tournament organizers had concerns about safety of the city and opted to find a venue outside of city limits. County Club Board President Ken Smith wrote on Sunday afternoon that the Golf Tournament Foundation had concerns about the safety of the city, opted to find a venue outside of city limits. Smith announced that the hosts will instead be moving the tournament to the Oregon Golf Club, which is in West Linn. West Linn is in Clackamas County, about 20 minutes or so just south of Portland. So I also do recall at that time that the city was making a concerted effort to clean all of the routes that people flying into the airport and then traveling now to the which was supposed to be not too far from the airport, but traveling, like I said, about 20 minutes over to West Linn, cleaning all the routes to the Oregon Golf Club so that people wouldn't see any sort of trash or filth. And so what San Francisco is doing right now kind of reminds me quite a bit of what Portland did. And at the time, it felt the same way. For some of us Portlanders, we thought, why should we clean the city for people that don't even live here? Shouldn't we do this for our residents? Now, if you're not familiar with Portland, and if you're somebody that's thinking about moving to Portland, this should be a good video for you. For myself, somebody that's lived in this area my entire life, I can say that pre-pandemic, before 2020, Portland, for the most part, felt like a very clean city. This article says that cleaning up Portland's homeless camps will take the city about 2 years, officials say. Now, this was published over 2 years ago. Is the city yet clean 2 years later? You probably guessed the answer to that question. Let me show you another news report.
Portland is trashed, so trashed that when we put out a call on Facebook asking people to point us to the spots that frustrate them most, we got more tips than we could possibly follow up on.
Graffiti everywhere, people just hanging out, garbage everywhere.
This is Martin's video from Northeast 33rd by Marine Drive. Then there's the trash. One big factor, at the start of the pandemic, the city largely stopped clearing homeless camps. And officials have said when camps stay put for longer, trash tends to pile up. The city is starting to clear more camps now, and data shows crews are cleaning up more trash than ever.
Okay, so according to, and that was from KGW News, another one of our local news outlets, a lot of the homeless encampments are the reason for a lot of this trash that's building up. Like she mentioned, Portland and its mayor, Ted Wheeler, said during the pandemic that basically people could camp and stay wherever they wanted. And that's when we really started to see a lot of the trash build up.
Early the next morning, the cleanup begins. A yellow box truck has arrived. Rapid response cleanup teams are clearing up campsites, trash, and garbage, packing the truck full. But their efforts only focus on this specific area where the notices were posted.
Stuff like this, you just didn't see pre-2020. And you may know, you may have heard, Portland is supposed to be a very environmentally friendly place. I've seen a few reports or takes on some of the environmental damage that has been done by environmentalists, and the reports, anyways, by the environmentalists that say that it will take years, if not decades, for Portland to clean up some of the mess or the damage that's been done to the environment from the trash. So let me take you through a few pictures here of this article that I started out with at the very beginning of this video. Again, this is from about 2 years ago. I'll show you some things that are going to be a little bit more recent and what plans are going forward for Portland. But I can say just kind of anecdotally, I would say that things do tend to be a little bit cleaner. It looks like Portland has made some progress. It's definitely not its worst. I did also come across this article. In finding solutions for these problems, we have to understand these problems. And found a little bit of a different take. This is from streetroots.com, describes themselves as Portland, Oregon's award-winning weekly street newspaper. It says, Portland has a waste problem. Where is it coming from? Stories in the news of garbage proliferating around homeless camps are not uncommon in Portland, as we just saw, as I just showed you, particularly after COVID-19 wreaked havoc on services, generating a public perception that homelessness populations are responsible for the city's blight. Despite the anecdotes, Metro data does not align with the common assumptions of where the vast majority of the city's trash comes from. There are many misconceptions about garbage, including the association between dump garbage and people surviving outdoors. Our data shows that people living in residence dump garbage in public spaces more frequently than people who are surviving outdoors. Might sound like a little bit of a surprise to you. That's not, like it mentioned, that's not some of the reporting that we've been hearing over the last couple of years. They do have some data to present to us so we can get a better idea of what it is that they're referring to. This is a dashboard that they created. So they say that 62% of the sites that they've tracked, which would be 874, 62% of those sites were residential. So we're responsible for the trash that they had collected. 27% were unsheltered people, and then there was some commercial and some unknown in there. Now, looking at their data, looking at some of the things that they've itemized here, mattresses, tires, couches, furniture, that stuff makes sense to me. I think we've all seen somebody put a couch or maybe a barbecue or something outside of their residence on a public place, like a sidewalk. But it is surprising to hear that over twice, according to their numbers, small sample size too, by the way, 1,400, but over twice the amount of people that are producing this trash that they're collecting are coming from a residence, so a homeowner or a renter that pays for trash service, that has a service that will pick up their trash, as opposed to people that are unsheltered. They do have a little thing right here that tells you where are their sources coming from. So the RID Patrol Data Dashboard. How's the source of waste determined? When crews respond to reports of garbage left on public property, their RID Patrol also assesses the likely source of the trash. So I guess they make a guess based on location and contents. I guess, presumably they go through the trash and then somehow make a determination. So I found that article, hadn't yet heard that take. So I thought it might be a little bit interesting. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that it's more likely that a lot of this trash is coming from people that are currently living unsheltered, or is it people that are currently renters and homeowners that are paying for a trash service? And then more importantly, where are we headed? So what do we expect here in the next few years? What are things going to look like? Are things ever going to look like they were back before 2020? Well, this article says that the Greater Portland Cleanup, the people of the Greater Portland have a cleaner, more beautiful region thanks to a $10 million one-time investment from the state of Oregon. Cleaner parks, cleaner roadsides, cleaner communities, all thanks to a one-time $10 million investment from the state of Oregon. The funding from House Bill 5202 is created to address the waste impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. We also have an article that talks about a new nonprofit aims to empower Portlanders to tackle city's trash problem. In the last few months, more than 2,000 people have signed up to clean up trash on more than 3,000 of Portland's blocks. These 2,000 people, those gigs are long-term, noted Frank Moscow. That's how adoptions work. We have reimagined the way we make our city cleaner and happier, he said in an interview Tuesday. The retired tech consultant launched Adopt One Block late last year because he saw what many others did too. Trash in Portland is piling up at historic rates, and cleanup crews are overwhelmed. I was appalled by what I saw, he said. I started by adopting 2 really hard blocks myself and started looking around the country to figure out what solutions have been implemented in other places. Sort of reminds me of that saying, If you clean your own porch, if everybody cleans their own porch, the world will be a clean place. This guy decided to take it upon himself to clean other people's porches. And of course, if more of us could do that, the world would probably also be a clean place. So there's a lot of efforts right now, and there's a lot of people recognizing that we have a lot of trash that needs to be cleaned up. So I would imagine, and like I said, just anecdotally, over the past year or so, Portland has looked cleaner. Kotek, which is Tina Kotek, that's the governor of the state of Oregon. Multnomah County announces $2.5 million to clean trash in Portland. Governor Tina Kotek is spending $1 million to clean up trash in Portland. Her office announced Thursday. The new state spending joins $1.5 million from Multnomah County. Funds will go toward Central City Concerns Clean Start program, which employs homeless people to clean up trash throughout the Portland metro area. This was published just about over a year ago. So there's been a lot of efforts over the last 2 years. This is more recent. This was published about a month ago. This is an effort to downtown Portland clean and safe to focus effort into Director Park. This is one of our mini parks in downtown Portland. Larry Cusack was out walking his dog Olive and was interviewed, and he said during the last 8 years, he said he's been living downtown. He has seen things change. He went on to say that when he moved into downtown area in 2015, he felt safe. We don't like some of the things we see sometimes, Cusack said, but has really cleaned up in the past few weeks. Officials with downtown Portland Clean and Safe said they've given Director Park some extra attention and increased security patrols. Ben Furr, who has taken a break from a bike ride in the park, said he had noticed them. I've seen them manage some people in distress, and it's always been, he explained, I'd say, thoughtful. A leader said they've been trying to keep the park free of tents and hopefully increase foot traffic. The city also said they've been looking at bringing new businesses to the glass kiosk in the park. So is Portland getting cleaner? It looks like they are. What do you think? If you're familiar with Portland, if you've been here for a few years or seen things change over the last few years, let us know in the comments. Let us know if you think that Portland's doing a good job. Should they do better? If we have guests coming to town, should Portland clean up as much as possible for those guests? Or should we have the same expectations for the people that live here as our guests? And like the San Francisco situation, should things just be that way all the time? I definitely want to know what you think. Let us know in the comments. And if you're somebody that's thinking about moving to Portland, my name is Seth Marchant. I'm a licensed broker in the state of Oregon. I've helped a lot of people relocate here. I invite you to call me, text me, email me. All the contact information that you can find in the description of this video can also be accessed by hitting that QR code, which will take you to our website if you'd like to learn more. And if you'd like to see more videos about what it's like to live in Oregon, especially around Portland, whether it's talking about the condition of the city, the neighborhoods, pros and cons, things to do, neighborhood tours, basically everything that you're going to need to know about living or moving to this area. We've got over 100 videos on our channel. We release new videos every week, so if you want to see more content like that, make sure and subscribe. If this video helped you, give me a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And until next time, take care, everyone.